Alright, what is going on, everyone? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for being here right now, watching this video. I'd really appreciate you for your time, and I'd really appreciate if you do consider subscribing, because it truly does help me out a lot. Now, we got the unknown future of Kamaru Usman, man. What is next for Kamaru Usman? We should know already he doesn't have much left in his tank. He has a lot of, physical issues and things like that, and a lot of issues with his body. And not only that, he's getting older, and he lost all of his last fights. He lost the belt, then he lost again to the same person who took his belt, and he fought Khamzat Chimaev, lost that. So I guess he's just playing around in different divisions at this point. But at the end of the day, it's not like he's getting dominated, you know what I mean? Ever since he lost, it's not like he's getting dominated. He's put on very amazing fights, and I'm surprised, and we're surprised that he's still even going. You get what I mean? So that's the question. What's next? Is he gonna retire? What's gonna happen, man? But doesn't look like he's gonna be champion again anytime soon, the way it's looking. But let's just play the video.
Kamaru Usman,
The Nigerian Nightmare!
once dominant force in the welterweight division, is the topic of discussion today. Feel free to skip to any chapters, but let's get right into it. After an astounding 15-fight win streak to start his UFC career, with wins over Leon Edwards, Sean Strickland, Damian Maia, RDA, Tyron Woodley, Colby Covington twice, Jorge Masvidal twice, and Gilbert Burns, Usman was considered one of the UFC's finest, and many consider him up there with the likes of GSP and John Jones. But since that last win against Colby Covington, Usman has faced a series of setbacks, losing 3 matches, including losses to Leon Edwards after dominating the whole match, only to lose to him again the following year, and more recently being defeated by the rising star in Khamzat Chimaev. In this video, we're going to explore the implication of these losses on Usman's career and speculate on what the future might hold for the now 36-year-old fighter. Kamaru Usman's reign as the welterweight kingpin was nothing short of spectacular. With a flawless 15-fight win streak, he seemed untouchable, showcasing exceptional skill, technique.
He was running through his division, bro. And yeah, man, it's just like, I guess it got to the point where it just like he reached his decline, or either met his match. You get what I mean? But I don't know, man. And a lot of people didn't like him as a fighter too. You get what I mean? And ever since he lost, bro, ever since he had his belt, he was really cocky, man. He let his ego take over, and a lot of people didn't like him. But now he lost his belt, he's a lot more humble, bro, and he's a lot more likable. He's pretty much humbled himself. So, me personally, I didn't like Kamaru Usman either. But, nowadays, he's a lot more humble, and I respect that.
And mental fortitude, and that later championship mentality in each fight. His style was more wrestling based as he started his UFC career, and it was shown beautifully with his dominance over Tyron Woodley, with over 17 minutes of control time and a scorecard of 50-44, 50-44, and 50-45. Usman's championship aura came to fruition in this fight, and let that sink in for a second. In a 25-minute fight, Usman had 17 minutes and 51 seconds of control time. I remember watching the fight, and I was left in utter shock at how a champion in Tyron Woodley could just sit there and take the ass beating. Many casuals, including myself at the time, criticized Usman for how boring his style was, and it wasn't until the next couple fights where we saw the evolution in Kamaru Usman's game. In his next 4 fights after Tyron Woodley, we saw 3 TKOs of stars in Gilbert Burns, Colby Covington, and my favorite TKO of his, Jorge Masvidal. Usman put to bed any talk about his, quote, boring style, and was basically on a mission to clear out that welterweight division. In efforts of clearing out the division, Leon Edwards was next up to try and stop the Usman reign. Again, Usman had defeated Leon before, and Usman gladly took the fight. Usman was nearly dominating Leon until this very moment.
Like that would be a moral victory for Leon Edwards. but that is not the cloth from which he is cut. I mean, that is a dejected...
He doesn't even have to play the clip. We've seen it already literally everywhere, bro. This is one of the most legendary moments in the UFC because, bro, Kamaru Usman was going on a streak undefeated, bro, and it's just like boom. That last minute of the fight changed everything for Leon Edwards, and it's just like, and it also changed everything for Kamaru Usman too. But yeah, man, let's keep going.
There it is. Oh my God.
Undisputed welterweight champ. The belt headed to the UK.
This is the exact moment that everything went wrong for Usman. After nearly the whole fight of utter domination from the champ, in an instant, he became a contender. While many champions get knocked out and come back to form, such as the GSPs and Triple C, this doesn't seem to be the case with Usman. Obviously, Usman had the right to claim a rematch, and in that rematch with Leon Edwards, he wasn't his dominant self and lost the majority decision. Could this be due to his reluctance to let the hands fly and fear of falling for the same fate as before? We don't know. But the thing we do know is that Usman did not look the same, and he looked more human than ever. It was pure shock then after hearing Usman was taking Chimaev on 10 days notice to fight in UFC 294. This was the rising star of the UFC and an undefeated fighter that was absolutely mauling people. So why take the fight? This fight was to be set at middleweight, which is at 185 pounds, which is a 15-pound increase from Usman's usual welterweight bout at 170. While this makes sense if you are cutting, where you don't have to cut that many pounds, but in a realistic look, this makes no sense. While the fight was closer than imagined, Chimaev proved to be the next star, and even though Usman lost, in his first 3-round fight since 2018, he did win the second round, and one judge had him winning the third. Many spectators started to see how Usman may have exposed UFC Starboy and were optimistic for Usman.
And also, you gotta take note, Khamzat had a broken hand in the first round, if I'm not wrong. So he couldn't do much when it came to striking. So yeah, man, and he still ended up winning. So you just gotta take note of that.
Future. Others, such as me, weigh the importance of his age and that 3-fight skid. Losing 3 fights in a row can be a significant blow to any fighter's confidence and reputation. For Usman, these losses have undoubtedly raised questions about his future in the UFC. At 36 years old, he's no longer the young, unstoppable Nigerian nightmare that he once was. I hate bringing up the age, but with Volk getting knocked out by Topuria, it just adds to the statistic that if you are 35 years old or older, you have a dwindling hope in beating someone younger in title bouts. So where does that leave Kamaru Usman? While his recent losses may have dimmed his aura of invincibility, they also represent an opportunity for growth and reinvention. Usman has proven time and time again that he is a resilient competitor, capable of coming back from defeat and coming back stronger. Whether he chooses to rebuild and reclaim his throne in that welterweight division or possibly go to another weight class remains to be seen, but I'm not sure that he will be the champion that he once was. He's already 36 years old, and many have begun to point out that his knees are getting worse. He is that wrestler, so using that push off that knee and checking kicks and stuff like that is very, very crucial for him, and they're getting worse. Of course, he's getting older and they're getting worse, but that is a big red flag in his game that he would need, and now it's not looking like he had the spring that he once had, which is understandably so. The odds are definitely stacked against him, but I think that he's in that territory now where he is that gatekeeper in whatever division he wants to be in, whether it is welterweight or middleweight. He has all the skills of being a top fighter, as, again, he was a champion, but the big question is he going to be a champion again? I'd honestly like to say it would take a miracle. And we're not talking about a Glover Teixeira where their main game is that jiu-jitsu, where they don't have to rely on that stand and bang type of fight, or they have to bring them down to where they're doubling people. No, he can get
To be honest, I don't think he's gonna become champion anytime soon again. Not only is he getting a lot older, and he's definitely getting up there in age to the point where he's gonna have to retire, so he's not gonna be around here long. In my opinion, he might just, take fights, challenge himself for the fans, for fun, and that's pretty much it. That's what he did his last fight with Khamzat Chimaev. It was just like, why not kind of thing. You get what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, his knees, bro, his physical health is not looking good, bro. His health is bad. We all know he abuses PEDs, and it's just like, bro. And he also trains. He's very close friends with Justin Gaethje, and he trains with Justin Gaethje, and it's just like Justin Gaethje has said himself that he's gonna retire pretty soon. He's not gonna be around much longer, if you get what I mean. So yeah, man, I don't think it's a good idea at all to keep sticking around until the wheels fall off, just like Tony Ferguson said. You get what I mean? But you never really know, bro. But me personally, I wouldn't want to see Kamaru Usman go down that path. He's still doing solid in his fights. It's not like he's getting absolutely dominated. You get what I mean? It's not a good idea to just stick around any longer, trying to get a belt back, bro. Because I don't think it's gonna happen. But let's keep going.
And honestly, knock down and then tie up and then choke you out. That's just his game. But Usman relies on his legs, his knees, those power punches, that piston of a jab, the piston of a two that he has as well. He relies on that, and it's dwindling, obviously, because he's getting older. So, in conclusion, Kamaru Usman's recent string of losses may have shaken his UFC legacy, but it is still early to count him out. Usman has the potential to bounce back from adversity and solidify his name amongst the UFC greats. Whether he rises to reclaim his throne is yet to be seen.
I don't know, man. I really don't know, man, because there can't really be a rivalry against him and Leon Edwards anymore, since they already did their 3 fights and whatnot, and Leon Edwards beat him twice. So unless he wants to move up in another division, try to get a belt, I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna end this video here. Let me know what you guys think, and peace out.